Hello and welcome to day 302 of Daily Dose of Dutch. Thanks for joining me for another episode. And today it's Sunday. And well, I called it Sunday Spiritual, and you can decide at the end if this is spiritual or not. But it definitely affects, I think, everybody. And what is that? Do you have these moments that it seems to be that every time you watch the news, a disaster is happening. Every time you take someone's call, some trouble is happening. Maybe in your family, somebody else is diagnosed with cancer. Things are happening in relationships. Relationships are breaking down. And sometimes it seems to be, whether it's in our own lives or whether it's in the lives of our friends and family, that things are breaking down. Now, when these things happen, we sometimes wonder, wow, how much is this going to affect me? What can I do about it? And I think therefore it is important to make a distinction. And I've asked the question, on which circle do you focus? Because I believe there's two circles. We have our circle of concern and we have our circle of influence, or our circle of control. Now, our circle of concern is pretty big, because that is all the things that we are concerned about. And that might be the things that are happening in the lives of our relatives. That might be friends or family that are being diagnosed with terminal illness. But it might also be the President of the United States that concerns you, the things that are happening in the world. Maybe when we are looking at the news and we see that the famine that is happening in Africa, that is all in our circle of concern, and it is terrible when we see these things. It is awful when we hear these things, especially if they affect close relatives and close friends. But if we are all day focusing on our circle of concern, nothing happens. Actually, what we're doing is probably just worrying all day, and we can't do anything about it. So, the other circle that I'm talking about is our circle of influence, or called our circle of control. That are the things that we can do something about. So, if we look at our own lives, we can make choices. Where we live, what we do, what we read, what we eat. That is in our circle of control, in our circle of influence. So, if we are focused more on the things that we can actually control and influence, what you will see is that circle will get wider. And actually we will be able to affect more people and things in our circle of concern. Because instead of just worrying and looking at the news of the people in Africa, we can donate money. We can give support. That is within our circle of control. And with that we will actually affect the people in our circle of concern. But also, if you look at friends and family, if we make sure that we are proactive about our own lives, that we are in a situation where we are stable, what will happen is that when other people need you, you have the ability to help. And ultimately, we can pray. We can pray. That is within our circle of control. That are the things that we can do. We can pray for others. And therefore, I think it's also good to know for the people that are in our circle of concern, that they are prayed for. So, whenever you look at the news, whenever you get news from family or friends that really concerns you, make sure that you focus on the right circle. Look what you can do proactively. Look what is in your circle of concern, or in your circle of control, or your circle of influence, because that is where you can make a difference, and with that you will impact also the things that are in your circle of concern. So I hope that has been useful. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another Daily Dose of Dutch.